Hey everyone, we are now live with our AMA. You can ask questions in chat and on Reddit and Twitter. Tweet at with hashtag GroovyAMA and on Reddit in the thread pinned on Discord server. I'll try to go through all of the questions. We'll see how long we can go. In the meantime, you will be able to look at some fan art that we've got. I've collected them a bit. If you're an artist and did do fan art, feel free to tweet at us with hashtag GroovyFanArt, and I'll try to get on the stream. Make sure you include your Twitter handle or artist signature in the fan art, so you get the credit you deserve. For some of the art pieces here, I've already edited that in after the fact for the ones that didn't have it. But yeah, so if you do want yours featured, tweet at us with hashtag GroovyFanArt and then include your artist signature. I think I'll be starting with the Reddit questions, and after I'm through those, we'll go through stream things and then Twitter. So obviously, one of the most asked questions is whether we are going to be working on a new bot or a music bot in particular. We are not planning on making another music bot because that is just going to run into the same issues we've had with Groovy. We are also not planning on repurposing Groovy as is. We are planning though on making another bot, just not in the music range because, as I've said, that is not gonna work very well. No details on that one yet. You can find the details once we do release it in the Groovy server, and I'll probably announce it here too. Also, I'm gonna be thanking people for subs and whatever, so thank you, ZeddyJesus69. It's a very good username for the Prime sub. Another question from Reddit. What is Nick eating for dinner and will there be leftovers for me? Nick was not eating dinner properly. I was there in a voice chat with him, and he's eating unhealthy things. He got churros and ice cream. That's not dinner. That's not how you eat dinner. I mean, probably tastes good. I don't think there'll be leftovers though. What was the final programming language that Groovy was made in? Groovy was originally made in Groovy and now in Java. And thank you, MayoKid69 for the sub. Man, you're all into 69, huh? And I think I missed someone. Oh no, my stream is flooded with followers. If I miss you, please ping me in the stream chat. Are you guys thinking about implementing Groovy's algorithm in something else, like a search engine or whatever, and cooperate with YouTube instead? We'd love to cooperate with YouTube. We know a lot about YouTube now, right? After all this, we are probably more familiar with YouTube than most of the engineers at YouTube. But I don't think we'll get the chance to work with them. We'd love to. We really would. Also, thank you for the bits. I am gonna try finding your name. Man, Streams OBS is trolling me today. Dropey64. Oh, well, now it's 105 bits. Thanks. Ravy stream is going to be saved so that everyone can see that again. Yes, so for the funeral, you can find that on the on the bot page, or like on the videos tab, I think it's called, on this Twitch channel. Thank you usually for the tier 1 sub. This is Ravy. Any tips for first-time bot developers? Well, one thing that made us grow so fast and well is that we did one thing and we tried doing that well. We didn't collect features from all around Discord and try to put all of us in a bot. We focused on music and we stick to music, and we tried making that the best thing possible. And if you're a new build developer and want to get started, try finding a cool, unique idea and really focusing on that. Derby64, thanks for the 65 bits. Yeah, we've got a lot of questions about open sourcing Groovy. That is not something we plan to do. We are we might be fine if we do it. We really don't know if we are, but we don't plan on, because there have been, legal actions against open source repositories, and we really just don't want to get into that. YouTube is already looking at us, and I don't think that open sourcing something now would be a very good idea for the YouTube case. Also, usually thank you for the 500 bits. Rip Groovy, yeah. Well, we tried our best, you know. Um, How long did it take to create Groovy? So the thing with Discord bots like Groovy is that it's not like a one-time thing you build once and then it always works. Groovy is like has been a continuous development process. Even to the last day, we've been working to improve Groovy, to add new features. So there's not really a time it took to create Groovy. Like, Groovy is still a constantly evolving thing. Ever going to work with music labels directly and cut off a middleman, in this case YouTube? We would. We would if we could, but we didn't get any offers. We did reach out to some, but we did not get anything useful out of that. It's something else. Yeah, right. Was there any specific reason it was written in Java? So Groovy is using a Lava player for audio streaming, which is written in Java. That's one of the reasons. It's just an already existing thing. Another reason is Nick, who wrote Groovy, just knew Java, For most Discord bots, it really doesn't matter what language you write it in. It's more relevant that you know the language that you're writing in, so that you can just go ahead and build things the way you want to. That way you are able to build the best thing possible and don't need to learn how to use Discord and learn how to do things you want to do and learn a new language. If you don't know a programming language, I would suggest starting with something high level like Python or JavaScript. But Python right now is not a good idea. That Discord.py retired. And Princess Ravy, are you German? Yes, I am German. I think you can probably hear that from my accent. Someone asked me for my age. I'm not gonna do any specific details. And for the people asking if I can speak German, yes, I can. I live in Berlin. I am good with this language. I've been living here since I have been born, so I do speak that language. Do you watch football? No, I do not watch football. I'm not that interested in sports. I'm gonna be honest. As you might have guessed by me streaming here and being in the Groovy team, I do more stuff on social media and on Discord specifically and development stuff than I'm interested in sports. What's your favorite anime? That's a difficult question. The last one I've watched was Toradora, and it was really cute. It was a really, really cute romance anime. I would highly suggest watching that. What will happen with Groovy now? Groovy is gonna, or probably already has, roll out an update where it'll respond to all your commands with the shutdown message. It won't be doing anything but that. We've replaced basically the entire command handling with just Groovy telling you that it's shut down. We don't really have a choice there. Like in around 20 minutes, the deadline of the CMD goes into effect. We receive it around that time. So there's nothing we can do. What's the hosting situation like? Does Groovy require a lot of processing power for lots of people, or is it relatively calm? Making a music bot is not a good idea. Believe me. It is very, very, very resource intensive compared to other Discord bots. We have used nearly 1,000 processing cores and multiple terabytes of RAM to run Groovy. And especially for stuff like volume modulation and the effects and whatever, like all the premium features, those were particularly resource intensive because they just ripped through that CPU. There was no chance of running Groovy on a single server. We are running Groovy on 25 dedicated servers plus multiple other servers for microservices, I think. It was a huge thing. And we are happy that our host at GalaxyGate also let us have a lot of bandwidth for no extra price. I don't think at a host where we pay for bandwidth we could have run Groovy. Elias Classic asks, are you MTF or FTM? I am MTF, but I have not done voice training. Are you going to keep the Discord server rebranded? It's still Groovy's community, even if Groovy doesn't exist. So we are still gonna be keeping the Discord server. And yeah. We're gonna unlock it at one point. But right now that's not a good idea, because Groovy, everyone thinks that we've been doing recently. Chat is gonna be flooded when we unlock that. We're probably gonna unlock it in a couple days when no one's watching, so the chat doesn't immediately get run over by people. Will you make another bot like Groovy? No, I already answered that. I will not do. How much did the Groovy servers cost? A lot of money. That's the primary reason we couldn't like remake Groovy with less features, because Groovy costs a lot. Also, thank you Kazuma Surya for this sub. Groovy costs a lot of money to run. Music bots are just so inefficient to do. Oh, well, not inefficient, but resource intensive to do. So running a music bot is just very, very expensive if you don't monetize it properly. What's the best language for beginners? If you already know one, use that. Otherwise, there's very good guides for JavaScript. What made you want to start making a music Discord bot, which is Groovy? So, as Nick mentioned yesterday, I don't know if you were there. I'm running this at EU time because probably a lot of people weren't there, because it was 1 a.m. Central European time. We just saw other music bots that weren't very good, and so we made a better one. It seems most of you people agree. Do you watch Doctor Who? No, I do not watch Doctor Who, but I have a friend who very, 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 very actively watches Doctor Who. I think he's like watched and rewatched all the episodes of it. Yeah, would it be possible to have Groovy accept different type of music? Like, yeah, I think I've already answered that. First of all, probably wouldn't be possible money-wise, and secondly, it's like just moving the issue into the future slightly, right? So with YouTube sending us the cease and desist that we got, there is probably a very good chance that other platforms would follow if we just used those. Especially since us ditching YouTube would bring a gigantic influx of requests to the new platforms, right? So over 90% of Groovy's current traffic has been going to YouTube. So if we redirect that somewhere else, they are gonna definitely notice that something's off, and they are probably gonna promptly follow with their legal team. I just get a question with 5 bits whether we are whether the other music bots are gonna be hit. There's a good possibility. We've heard conflicting stories from them. I've heard from one other major music bot that they have received a cease and desist. But I've also talked to one of the core staff members who says they don't know anything about a cease and desist. So I am not sure. But I'd guess, even especially with the growth that they are getting now, it's very possible that they are also going to be gone very soon. Will Groovy be back in the future? No, Groovy will not be coming back. Will Riven get a letter as well? Yeah, I think I've answered that. Thank you so much for making Groovy. Thank you for being there. 3 questions. Do you have mutual beef with Riven? No, we're pretty chill with him. Is Groovy's account gonna be deleted? No, it is also not gonna be deleted. It's gonna go offline. Discord actually reached out to us, asking whether we are gonna delete Groovy, because it'll put massive strain on the infrastructure. Also, thanks also for the sub. Oh, actually, no. Dice2x5 gifted you one. That's very cool. And thank you for the gift subs. Oh, it's not showing that correctly. Yeah. Who designed Groovy's avatar? Aaron did from our Discord server. We commissioned him for it. I love Groovy for so long. Rest in peace. Yeah, Groovy has been really close to us as well. Like we've been, we've been working on it for so long. We've been having the community for so long. Um, it's a major part that's going out of my life too. Also, thank you, Ray, for the sub. Do you think we'll make another bot in the future? If so, what's it gonna be? Yeah, we're already launching another bot. It's still in beta basically, but it's gonna be public at one point, and we're gonna announce it in Groovy community. How many lines of code was Groovy? A lot. Groovy is a massive monorepo, right? Where all the services we have, even the helper bot and the Discord and the actual Discord bot and whatever, they're all in one repository. And in there is a lot of code. I guess like 50,000 lines. I have no clue though. I did not count them. What was your reaction when you received the cease and desist? It was very sad for us because it was ripping a major part of our lives away. At least for me it was. But I think I'm speaking for everyone here. For Oz and me, it's also been a gigantic financial issue. So, yeah. Also, hi Nick. You wanna say something? Do you wanna answer some questions? Oh, I can't hear Nick. That is not very good. 1 second. Let me fix that.
Hello, I want to answer some questions.
Oh yeah, now we can hear. Now you can. I should be able to hear Nick. Yeah.
Gravy.
Hi there.
Hello.
Yeah, I've set a voice meter for the stream because I'm trying to do some music audio routing, and I've not tested it for. Well, I set it up like 20 minutes before the stream, and I did not have much chance to test it. Also, hi else for being here. You wanna say something too?
Yeah, that question
Hello,
about
hello.
Oscar.
Good
hello.
evening. I just had to turn on my DMs because I was already getting scared. Ah, Jesus Christ. It's great to be back on the stage, not gonna lie.
Is Nick German too? No, Nick is not German. But if he tried really hard, he could probably do a German accent.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Do you have Instagram? Okay. Yeah, I do, but it's not public.
For the person that asked earlier about Groovy's how many lines of code it is, with white space 35,000, without 27,000.
That is quite a bit. Damn, Nick did the counting. Oh yeah, someone asked how we got contacted. So by YouTube, we got contacted via email. We verified that obviously with professionals that it's a legitimate email from the YouTube legal team, and that was it.
Fun fact, they actually reached out to Discord before reaching out to us. Don't know really why, because there's like a contact email on the website. But they seemingly wanted to get like the most detailed contact information they could get. So, yeah.
When did they reach out to you? Exactly a week ago. Like basically in 5 minutes, it should be a week ago, exactly. That's why Groovy is also shut down by now. Now is around the exact time that Groovy has to shut down. Why aren't you recommending using alternatives? Well, because we think that there is a very, very decent chance that other music bots are gonna have the same issue, right? So we are not planning. We don't. It doesn't really make sense for us to recommend any alternatives because there's a very serious probability that they'll just get shut down too.
And it becomes sort of like a domino effect, right? Because Groovy has so many users, and if we recommend one specific bot, we're gonna cause so much traffic to go to that bot that it's,
it's going to be problematic.
Even if they don't get shut down by YouTube, they might get denial of service by all of you guys.
Basically, yeah.
Like you've been, my chat is asking if you watch Doctor Who.
No, do not.
Thank you, Matthew, for gifting my friend a sub. How did I get an RTX 3080? I have been automating.
Yeah, I wanted to know the same thing, Ravy. I wanted to know the same thing.
I've been automating refreshing stores for 5 months, I think, before I finally got one.
Crazy.
So
Ugh,
it was a lot of work to get
I
a single
almost
one.
showed up at Best Buy for one of their drops the other day.
Oh yeah, I
Almost.
don't think there were any IRL drops here in Germany for COVID reasons. So the only way I could do it was online, and so I wrote some scripties.
Good old scripties.
Who manages the Groovy community? Well, Nick owns the place technically, but I run most of it. Why did they contact y'all? Because they wanted to shut down Groovy. Why does Groovy have to shut down? Because we received a cease and desist from YouTube. Tell Nick I love him. You hear that, Nick? Choco
thank you.
Yeet 432 from my Twitch chat loves you.
No.
Do you speak Spanish? No, I do not speak Spanish. I had Spanish in school, but I completely threw that. What was the most played song? Oh yeah, Nick probably knows that one.
So it's hard to define what the most played song is because Groovy obviously plays music to multiple people, who may or may not be listening and may listen for only a small amount of time. If we're going by purely the amount of time listened, it's actually the lo-fi hip hop beats to relax to, far and away the most listened to thing on Groovy. It was listened to so much, and I think the lo-fi hip hop beats to relax to, like the Lo-Fi Girl server, they had Groovy set up with their own stream there, and I think they probably had a lot to do with that because they had like 200 people constantly listening to Groovy there. Um,
Chat
but
said it's probably Rickroll. I mean, I think we have contributed at least some parts to major Rickrolling. We've done that in our last event, and we've also done that on the server before.
if you go by the raw number, just the number of like unique times that it was played, Rickroll is absolutely up there in the top 10. It's every time I ran the stats, I was very surprised to see it. But I'm gonna run some aggregations right now, and find the most popular Spotify one, and then I'll get back to you guys.
Thank you, Matthew, for the 300 bits. That's very nice of you. People asked if we regret making Groovy. I don't think no. I wouldn't say we regret making Groovy. It was a great time while it lasted, right? Like we had a lot of fun, and it was very cool. We just can't continue anymore. Like we would probably if we could.
Well, we
It's
didn't really get into like major troubles with it, so there's not really like regretting. And we learned a lot. Like a lot of experiences got us somewhere. So I wouldn't say so. Wouldn't say so.
Thank you, Xing's spot for the prime sub. Also, I've been asked in chat if I can say something in German. No, I'm gonna forward that one to Oz. Can you say something in German? Do you even speak that language?
Ja, ich spreche diese Sprache tatsächlich.
Das
ist
ja
sehr lustig.
sehr schrecklich.
Absolut. It's just very hard to like switch back to English then. So
yeah,
that's the only thing you guys gonna get.
Will Groovy be back if YouTube pulls out? We don't think
No.
so, and also it's not gonna happen. So either way, Groovy won't be coming back. Can you say bratwurst? Yeah, I can say that. I do speak that. Feel free to clip that and then download it, put it on a CD, and frame that on your wall. Are you releasing the API for Groovy to the public? We are not releasing any Groovy code to the public. If you would have used a donation-based model without the premium features, it would have been a violation of YouTube terms of service. Yes, it would have. Actually, that part of the terms of service is not, of the C&D is not really accurate at all. Groovy does not require payment for any YouTube songs. You can stream any song, any length, from any source for free with Groovy. There's not, you could. There's nothing stopping you from that's behind the paywall. The things we did paywall are also the ones that cost us extra, like volume modulation and sound effects and whatever. Those cost us extra because they use a lot of CPU. So we will paywall those. But in that sense, Groovy kinda is donation based because again, you're not forced to pay for using Groovy at all. You can totally use the bot and play anything you want without paying for it. We just have additional features that cost us more behind the paywall, so we don't go bankrupt. What section of YouTube 2S did we infract? A lot of them, at least according to YouTube. They listed a lot of things there. Basically,
I guess the most
yeah, sure.
Yeah, the most problematic one is probably the separation from like the video and the audio, because they have like the term where you can like provide YouTube sources on your own website, but you always have to integrate it with their custom player so they can like control what is going to be streamed and stuff like that. And we kind of got around that because, well,
Kinda.
we didn't stream the video. We just needed the audio, and that's like a pretty problematic thing. Probably the most problematic one.
Yeah, one indicator that might be the most troubling one for YouTube is also that was the first one listed in the cease and desist. That was the first one in there, separating audio from video. They did not like that. Oh yeah, I already answered it for me, but what was your reaction to receiving the cease and desist that Groovy is supposed to shut down?
Well, we kind of knew something like that could have happened like anytime soon, so it wasn't like the biggest surprise, but it still felt kind of like, let's say, heartbreaking to see that the project could just be like wiped out with one email, basically, which is, yeah, quite hard, but well, we can't really do anything. So I guess it's somewhat fine.
What about you, Nick? How did it feel?
Um, we've had a couple moments like this in the past, which I guess prepared me emotionally for this sort of moment. It's it was almost I'd almost been resigned to it before we even received it. We weren't super public about this in the past, but around December of last year, PayPal had completely disabled our accounts, and we were really struggling to figure out why. Um, and it made it very difficult to run Groovy to the point where we almost had to like actually do some. We had to like almost consider shutting down, I guess. We with with PayPal gone, we were actually having trouble like paying bills and stuff, which it was rough. Um, Luckily though, we ended up finding out that they banned our account because they thought we were like they thought that Groovy's purpose was to like make fake user accounts. I guess they got scared by the word bot in the name. Um, but for that little while, I think personally I was emotionally prepared, so it wasn't. I was all ready for it, I guess.
That's fair enough. Thank you, Aiken out one for the 101 bits. One question that is very interesting and that is in a reasonable question after the Discord.py announcement. What are your thoughts on the Discord verification system privacy-wise? Any of you have any strong opinions?
Well,
Privacy wise?
Yeah, because they require photo ID and a lot of details about the bot
Well,
and whatever.
so this Groovy is why they require that. When YouTube reached out to Discord about Groovy violating their terms of service, they they didn't actually need to do anything besides just say, well, it's kind of not our problem. This is like a third party. And then they just gave them our contact info, which we had to give when we verified the bot, and they put it over here. So honestly, I totally see the reasoning behind it.
yeah.
And when you're building something this large, I think it's necessary, I think. Um, I don't really have any trouble with the privacy of it, I guess. But usually I'm not. I usually understand what like the meaning behind it, so I don't really have too much of a problem.
Do you think that the limit of 100 servers is a bit low for like sharing your photo ID? Since you said like at
Um,
this size it's relevant, but you know, shouldn't that be like, I don't know, 100,000 then or something like that?
it's no, I understand the reasoning why they chose 100. Um, I don't know. Like I can I see the reasoning because it's like at 100 it's more than 100 is more than a single user account could do. Um, yeah,
200
I'm not
now.
sure. I don't really have anything to say about that.
Yeah, so I kind of agree with that. So I think it's quite privacy invasive for small developers, obviously. Um, Maybe a system where you would gradually verify more things, you know, like from 100 servers onwards, you have to use phone verification in 2FA, and from I don't know, 10,000 servers onwards, you do ID verification. That might be a more sensible system. I think 100 servers and photo ID is a bit very aggressive, like privacy wise, and I don't know if that's reasonable. As for Discord.pydev mentioned in his shutdown thing, I remember him saying that he found it very invasive. So I guess there's two ends of the spectrum here, but uh, I think a decent chunk of the community, especially of the small developer community, is not a fan of the verification. Like as
Wasn't it like a reaction to all these fake bots back then? I remember
um
something like that because it just makes sense from that perspective,
yeah, but you don't need ID
If you
verification for that, right? You can still do bot verification and
Okay,
stuff
yeah, that's
without
fair.
ID verification
That's
at 100
fair.
servers.
Hmm. Yeah, not sure.
Is the actual problem the premium feature where Groovy has to go? No, it is by far not the only reason.
Even if it was, we can't really get rid of premium because Groovy costs a significant amount to run, and I'm not gonna. We just can't afford to pay that out of pocket.
Okay. We've been asking Twitch chat. This is a fun one. For what qualifications do we have? Like, I guess from school, university. Like,
Qualifications.
okay, Nick,
Wow.
do tell us about yours. So tell us a bit
I
more.
have a high school diploma.
Okay.
Um, that
Yeah,
that
that's
That's it.
crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I dropped out of college because Groovy actually got me a job at a different company, and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I personally have a German Abitur, and I am currently studying physics. Like, I don't have any bot related qualifications apart from experience. Who had the original idea for the bot? Nick. He's right here, right now.
Hey, hi.
I mean, we weren't the first ones that had the idea for a music bot, right? But
Oh
for
yeah.
Groovy in
No,
particular,
absolutely
Nick
not.
was the one. Guys, I will be your lawyer to get against Google. I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh boy.
Or the issue was the hardest to resolve with Groovy. Honestly, I don't think we've had too many coding issues, and like way more like legal and all of those kind of issues, like the PayPal thing. Um,
The PayPal one wasn't that hard to resolve, but it was just so stressful. It
yeah,
was, it really took a toll on me.
yeah. The issue with these things is like you don't know what you're supposed to do, right? When there's an issue with like the functionality of a bot, we know we are talented, at least somewhat developers. Like we can solve that given enough time. But for stuff like the PayPal thing, you don't know what's gonna happen because it's all in the hands of a couple people that also don't talk to you and also take months to respond. So it's kind of very painful. Is it a good idea to open up a petition for Groovy? I don't think it is. I've never seen a petition that was or like a petition come true because there was an online petition for it. Usually if there was an online petition for it and something came true, it was not because of the petition. So I don't think that's uh, That's the solution. Flavor Official says, I gotta go, but stay groovy. I agree. Do stay groovy. Are YouTube
You
just
said
saying
the
close
thing.
down, or do you need to pay for damages? We just got a cease and desist with and nothing else, no claims or whatever. They just told us to shut down. Bye. When will bot be open to public? Well, Groovy and never again. But the thing we're working on right now, once it's done, we are hurrying up. Trust me. I wrote a couple thousand lines of code before the Groovy shutdown, in like the week before that. So we are doing things. It's just gonna take some time because we want to make a bot good. If we're gonna announce it to a couple of 100,000 people. How long will Groovy merge stay up for? We initially planned to launch it for a week, and we think we're gonna still keep that. But we are currently contacting the artists that made community artwork, and are probably gonna do a second drop of community-made merchandise after that for another week. Could you maybe give us a new bot hint? Name, something small even. Yeah, you should open your eyes, I think. That would be quite useful. I think if you do that, you'll be able to spot it quite quickly. What website / hosting service did you use to host Groovy? We used GalaxyGate. For the bots I own, I have set up a domain for to get the hosts. It's the bot name with an S at the end. .discord-bot-.host. So groovies.discord-bot.host. You're gonna get a link to our host. Do you think someone else will take over Groovy, or will you pass this to someone else? No. Groovy is being shut down, and there is no way around that. Wait, so verified bots on Discord is being ran by a company? No. Like you can have a verified Discord bot as an individual, but usually all the major bots have to be a registered company anyway because they make quite a bit of money, and you can't put that in under personal income anymore. So all of the major Discord bots that you might probably have in your server are a company. Someone asked me for my PC specs. You can see that on my Twitch about. I have listed everything in very much detail, from PC to microphone, camera, whatever. It's all there. Will the stream be recorded? Yeah, I have VODs on for all my streams. Will Groovy be available someday in the future? No, it will not. Let's see if there's a question we haven't answered yet. What would happen if you didn't shut down Groovy? Only the baddest of things. Like, they're trying to fight against YouTube in a legal way is just not gonna be a good idea. There's no way to win that. Is the old recordings audio fixed? No, I'll have to look into that. I actually have no clue why that would be the issue. I've changed my audio setup quite a bit from the last stream, so I think this one should be better, but I've actually no clue why the bot has those audio issues. Because in the stream they went there, so it must be something like Twitch's weird bot audio thing. I'm gonna have to do some more research. Maybe contact Twitch if needed. Once maybe if I do get Twitch partner, I can contact my partner support and they'll tell me. So basically, YouTube is destroying its own creators and also people on Discord now. Well, I don't know much about the creator issue right now. I've not been much into YouTube drama, but for the Discord bots, I'm not sure whether this was their choice. YouTube might be pressured by the copyright owners to do this. So, you know, I wouldn't blame YouTube too much for it. The last time I checked, Google itself is like a company that is not very aggressive with their copyright stuff. They are usually just pressured by other people that are, I guess, unable to make Groovy follow YouTube QoS. That is correct. We are not able to make Groovy as is with following the YouTube terms of service. At least according to YouTube. What's your hair and eye color for fan art? Well, both are brown. I have face cam streams. But yeah, someone asked that earlier. I do have and plan to make facecam streams, but not right now. I look a bit very tired right now because I was there for the last event and it took until 6 a.m. in the morning. So yeah.
Rip the sleep schedule.
Maybe can you work in like these bots as a teenager? Or do you need to finish a degree? I mean, you can make a bot like if you know how to program, you can make a bot. There is nothing stopping you from it. But it's the verification stuff and also like actually receiving income is gonna be a lot harder when you're under 18. Because there's just a lot of legal things you need to do if you do things legally, and those are usually not possible under 18. Any tips for future programmers? How many staff members does Groovy have? And your future plans now? The future plans one we've already answered. Groovy has 3 like staff members, 3 like people that actually constantly or full-time or at least part-time work for Groovy. And I think we have like 13 volunteer mod and support members. I'm not sure. I don't have the. I can actually check that 1 second. Roles. We have 12 support team members, 11 moderators, and 4 staff advisors right now. But there's obviously overlaps between those roles. I'm under 18 and my bot is in 92 servers, currently not verified. What do you recommend doing? If you are old enough, as per Discord TOS, which I hope you are, you can still verify your ID, even if you're under 18. You might need to get your legal guardian to check through Stripe's privacy policy regarding that, though. How much net income did Groovy generate? We are not publicizing that, even afterwards. Where can we watch the stream recording? After it's done on the videos tab on my channel. People are still asking what language Groovy was made in. Again, originally in Groovy lang, but that was mostly while it wasn't called Groovy. So, and now it's been Java. How did we guys meet? Yeah, how did we meet? I mean, I can tell you how I joined the team. So Nick is the original creator of Groovy, and I joined the Discord server in mid 2018 to. I think I joined the server to ask if there was student discounts for Groovy. I think that was the reason I joined the server.
Yeah, you shared a screenshot of that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was my first message because I've had to use multiple accounts because my Gmail stuff is very weird.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I joined the server to ask for student discounts, and fun fact, no, we don't offer student discounts. I had to find that out.
What?
You were very upset to hear that.
I just said disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah, but the reason I asked that was because I used Groovy and I wanted to support it, but I could not pay the price that was back then because fun fact, Patreon not only charges you a lot, it also adds tax to that. Yeah, so I couldn't afford it, so I was asking for student discount, and because there wasn't one, I tried helping out Groovy in a different way without paying for it, but just like instead using my time. So I got into Groovy as a support member, and then just took over the jobs that we were missing here, which were quite a lot, because back then it was still very close to just being a project run by one guy and his friends. Yeah, and I think Oz can tell the story himself how you got here. It's a very good one.
Yeah, we did talk about it yesterday, but I'll just talk about it again. Basically, I was working on like a little music bot as well. It was much smaller than Groovy back then, but it already was called Groovy. I literally just came up with that name one day. I can't really remember. I rebranded the bot in April 2018, and just in fall of this year, I accidentally found out that someone else had rebranded his bot to be called Groovy as well, which made me quite upset, to be honest. And I reached out with a few angry messages, but in the end, couldn't really like get the people to like stop renaming, and well, which was fair. Like everything was prepared for the rebrand on Nick's side, so yeah, it didn't really make sense. And yeah, there was not really like the need to like stay angry and keep like trying things. So in the end, we just merged projects, and that's how we met. That's how I got into the team. Yeah, basically that.
We yoinked
Pretty
us.
funny story.
Also, I swear, we
kind
were
of
the
long.
ones with the name first. We just took a very long time to rebrand. I promise.
Yeah,
I promise.
absolutely, absolutely.
And come on, we had the better domain.
That's true.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I didn't have the money to like get the .bot TLD. .co was just like so much cheaper.
Yeah, it still is.
And Rhythm was using it, huh? Rhythm
Yeah,
was using
but
.co
they're now
as well.
using FM, like their radio station. I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know what they're doing, like crazy shit.
Oh no. And how many servers should I make a company from about? There's not really a server requirement. I think once you start making realistic income with your bot, you should make it a legal company so you can legally pay taxes. Nick, are you planning on making other bots in the future? Apart, obviously, from the best one that has ever existed, Birthday Bot.
I don't know. I don't know. For now, I'm just gonna chill out. Groovy's been such a huge drain on my life for so long, so I'm just gonna relax, and then maybe in a little bit I'll have a project or something, but not now. Not now.
Oh yeah, we've been asked what Groovy's name used to be. That was Marv. It's a very good username, Marv.
Marv.
It just rolls off the tongue.
It's just all the same questions all over again.
Do you and me ever say Groovy was achievement? You never thought it would be, and with Groovy having community worldwide, are you proud of it? Yeah, we are proud of making Groovy. It was very fun. I mean, it's still very fun. Like, even if the bot is done, like the community just still exists, and you know we're enjoying that. Also, thanks Macy for this up. Any way to check what songs you played through Groovy in our servers? I mean, if you have a playlist, no, you can't anymore. But you could have done dash playlist export.
You could have done.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a thing anymore. The database still exists, so at one point we might dump that or something. But for now, no. What kind of bot is being made now? Yeah, you'd love to know. I've already answered that. What is the arrow bot used for? Can you tell me? You can invite it to your server and we'll tell you. I added that today. Isn't there any way of playing music on Discord? Oh yeah, you can use Voice Meter. It's a very good program. Just make sure, wink wink, that you do own the music. Because, you know, legal stuff is difficult.
Might be the CSGO.
You can find it at vb-audio.com. And there the software is. It's donationware, so you can use it for free, and if you like it, you can donate it. It's really good software. I've donated twice now. Who helped to manage the servers? Do you have any staff to help you fix them? The physical servers, we just have. We don't host them ourselves. We rent them from a host, so they manage that. Fun fact: in yesterday's funeral stream, actually the guy running the host was there listening to it. Yeah, dude, if you're here again, please say something in chat. I want to see
it.
Yeah, come on the stream.
So like a way to search for people listening?
Do you use Linux? Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna get flamed for either one. Do you use Linux? If so, which distro? Yeah, obviously we run Groovy on Linux because it's just the superior server OS. But I don't know what distro, but Nick might. I don't think it matters so much though, because we're using Kubernetes, and it runs things inside Docker where the outside OS doesn't really matter at all. Then, do you know which one we used?
What was the question?
The Linux distro.
We actually sort of bounced between Debian and Ubuntu a couple times. But Debian actually ended up having some, like, there were weird network issues that we were having. So
Oh
towards
yeah.
the end, we were consolidating all of our machines on Ubuntu 20. But there's still now, there's still a couple of the machines that are running. I think 18, 18, and some version of Debian. It didn't really matter because Kubernetes sort of abstracted all of that away. Um, so it wasn't a huge deal that they were all different.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Christopher, for gifting a random person in my chat as well. I think it was a random person. If you gifted that to that person in particular, congrats to you. I just want to tell you guys that you have done a great job at making Groovy. Thank you. We tried really hard.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Do you think YouTube did it for the money? I don't think Groovy is relevant in YouTube's income. Is Linux
It's all just legal shit.
Yeah. Is Linux your main OS? On desktop, no, I don't run Linux mainly, although I do use the WSL on Windows.
WSL is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very useful. I did all the server management stuff for Groovy from there as well.
There's so many like little tools, that you can look up, and it's like, oh, this seems like a really easy thing, and it's like, oh, actually, this tool is actually just a CLI thing on Linux, and it's so convenient just to be able to work with Linux on the same file system, like without having to restart and stuff, just so cleanly, so cleanly.
So cleanly. Yeah. We managed most things with kubectl, which is very good. You should totally use Kubernetes. You should totally use Kubernetes for everything. It's not a good reason not to use Kubernetes. Did you ever have a time where you wanted to give up on Groovy? Not really. Well, we had some hardships, right, with PayPal and everything, but like, at least for me, there was not like a time where I wanted to say like, yeah, no, screw this, I'm leaving Groovy. So like that was not a thing.
Technically, I guess you could, if you were getting pedantic, you could frame Groovy shutting down right now as us giving up. Like technically, we could have kept
It's
Groovy going
just the
with
smartest
only
move.
SoundCloud support. Like
Okay, yeah.
technically,
Yeah, for 5 days until we
could have tried
CD
And
from
then 2 days
SoundCloud.
later, yeah.
we could have tried to
absolutely.
pursue it in court, but it's really just not worth it. We all know how it's going to end up, and we just decided to cut the
we should have scraped like the internet for like pirated shit. No one's gonna trace that,
Yeah, we should have just went over to the Internet Archive project, copied all of the hard drives, and used no. Thank you, Bunny2 and Christopher for the tier 1 stuff. Broadcast and chat, yeah. I don't want to interrupt people talking here. What was your favorite feature function in Groovy? I mean, before we removed the -bean, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
What's yours?
I was quite proud of autoplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Autoplay is a very complicated thing.
It was an old feature that was in Groovy from a long time ago, and we actually had to like sort of remove it for a while because it used the actual like official YouTube API, and that they have really strict like usage quotas on that. So as soon as Groovy had like any number of like reasonable usage, it was just the feature became unusable. So we had to remove that, but we found a way to add it back that didn't rely on that, and it was really cool. I was quite proud of it.
Yeah, another thing that I quite enjoyed was fair queue, but we had to remove that for I think performance reasons.
Yeah, it destroyed the database.
Oh yeah, by the way, people are asking which database we used. For Groovy was running in MongoDB mostly.
Yeah, but I wasn't. If I did it again, I would not use Mongo. I do have to say, Mongo Atlas, I'm quite happy with it. It's very nice for